At the time of this video, over the weekend, it was like late at night from where I'm at or early in the morning or whatever you want to say, is that a whole bunch of YouTubers, well, probably some of the really big ones, let's put it that way, dropped like tons of videos about the new Asus Rog Ally X. And I see the specs and I see all the stuff that's going on. And at first I was just like, cause I was just like thinking, I'm like, okay, all right. So this is the new handheld that's coming out. It hasn't even been that long. And I talked about this in a previous video, but they now started to decide to take pre-orders. But on the other end, as I was listening to some of the YouTubers, they were saying some other things. So I guess I'm just gonna vent for a second and talk about this. And let's just get down to, like, I don't know. This is just me just looking at all the things that look wrong in this particular release. Okay, let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Click like subscribing. It's always a big help. Of course that these businesses try to get us to sell the product. That's the way to go, because, you know, I mean, and of course that, you know, the bigger YouTubers, there's a lot of following, and when they have a lot of following, they're like influence. So those influence was what causes us, and myself, to go out and buy these handhelds. We have to look at things about being realistic to some. Of course, it's the new product. We're gonna get hyped up. We're gonna go out there and jump on it. I'm one of them. I am one of those people that will pre-order, get me one, and get hyped up because it's the latest thing. And I falls into it. I'm not gonna lie to you. At least I'm just being honest to you, because when I do see the latest product, I look at the specs and the ideas that I can come up with, and I fall into it. So that's just me being realistic. So with, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, I'm just looking at not them, because they actually were saying a few things that really caught my attention. And some things I didn't even know, like right now Asus has like bad customer service right now. Like there's products that's been messing up and everything else, and you actually got the time to bring out a new handheld. And that made me think. I'm just like, okay, right now you should be taking care of the customers and then focusing up on those things. Now, let's put it this way, and I'm just gonna switch this up just a little bit. If you're a person the first time about to buy your first handheld or buy your first Asus Rog Ally, then yes, then go for the new one, because the new one has some good upgrades. I mean, but if you already got an Asus Rog Ally, and there's going to be some specs that's on there that's like, okay, it's better, of course, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or you just might want to be that person, just want to set it next to your old one, or you just want to sell your old one and then go for a new one. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. But by us being like too early in the game, I'm just really hoping that there won't be any problems with the unit itself, and you guys got to go to customer service. And now here's an idea: if you buy from like Best Buy, something happens to it, you can just take it on back. It's just simple, you know. So that's when I bought my original, and I haven't had not one problem with it. I'm serious, I haven't had one problem with this thing. But the battery life, yes, it will. I mean, it just shakes right on down after a while, and you're gonna have to plug it up. And I didn't buy the whole thing with the GPU and stuff like that. It's a handheld. I want to enjoy the handheld, and I wanted a handheld experience. Now remember, these are just my opinions. Just like I said, I am not dissing nobody. I am not saying anything wrong, but it's a conversation that just kind of make you think, and that's just what I'm doing. I'm just thinking. And I feel that the fact is, if you have a handheld that's you did some upgrades, it's not the 2, it's just a revision of the old one with all the old specs and everything, but you upgraded the battery, you upgraded like couple of parts and stuff like that. And I see that some of the parts, they was actually saying that you could mod it and stuff like, and I said this before, I just wish that they had those parts to where we can put it in our original unit itself, and that would be kind of cool for some of us that's actually tech tech savvy that wants to tamper around. And at least if you're going to do a new one, at least be able to give us those. I mean, to me, I was watching a video, and they made and one of them made a prediction of how long the battery life is on this new unit. And he said that with a high, just like heavy amounts of gaming or heavy stress test, whatever you want to call it, you're only going to be paying for 45 minutes on battery. That's in a heavy scenario. Is that it? I don't know. Is that okay? Because is that worth paying another $700 for? And okay, and then there's the space. So you get 1 terabyte of storage, which they said you can actually switch it out and stuff like that. They should have thought about that before, because of course that's what the modders do. We're gonna upgrade that storage. So if it's already 1 terabyte, guarantee you they're not gonna sit there and sit up on that 1 terabyte. Trust me, these cats is gonna go out there and slap 2 terabytes up in there. That SSD is not gonna stay there. That M.2 is not staying there. It is going to get upgraded, because that's what cats do. That's what we do. We take those and we mod them. That's just what it is. So if it first started off with 500 gigs, what happened? It went right up. We was messing around and say, hey, let's store a terabyte up in there. Then at the same time, next you have and then next you have, just like I said, you have the storage space. Then I can also see that they switched that thing up to the USB type, the new one. And I think that's pretty cool, because that way you guys can have more freedom. That's a good thing. But what about a person who just don't want all that? They just want to play the game. They just want to maybe just like, they looking for that battery life. So that's what I'm saying. So we're going to pay another $700 for extra battery life. And to me, I just feel like if we're going to go with the whole graphics card route, because we want to get a computer experience in our handheld. We want to get that full computer PC experience in our handheld, and that's what we want. We want that feeling. But then at the same time, what's gonna happen if we have to hit up customer service? I just feel that if they would have did pre-orders, maybe come out with it maybe a few months later, then at the same time, I feel that because it's a money grab, take care of the customers first and get all that stuff situated, then I think, and I truly believe that this unit will sell like crazy. Now, it's going to be some buyers, because everybody's going to want to go ahead and review it. Everybody's going to talk about it. It's going to be the big thing. And then also there's others that's pretty much saying we was waiting for this one. I got friends that when the PlayStation 4 came out, they just didn't buy the first PlayStation 4. They waited for the Slim and the Pro, because over time it's usually like that. But in this case right here, there's nothing wrong with that if you just did not get one at all. If you didn't get a Ally this time around and you go ahead and get the new one, that's awesome. I mean, some people, don't get me wrong, some people want to have them both. They want to collect them all. It's like Pokemon. They want to get them all. So, but I just feel like the fact is, it's like, what are we looking at? It's just like, it's the same screen, same everything. And say, for instance, you ain't really into all the rest of the stuff. It's just, I just looks at it at a price point that with this. Now, if they would have said, just like I said before, if they would have had maybe a program to where that they do a buyback program and they buy back your original Rog Ally and then give you a certain amount of credit towards this new one, I think that'd be really, really awesome. But everything is a cash grab. They just want to make money. And what happens with the customer service? And then what's gonna happen when things start? And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think that this thing is gonna come out well, because the way I'm looking at it, because of the bad customer service, because of the stuff that's going on. And trust me, I am not trying to down Asus. I am not trying to, but I'm just saying the fact is, it might be best to take care of those issues first before you release it. That's the only thing I'm looking at. Maybe take care of a few back ends first, and then once you go ahead and mend with those fans, with those followers, and the people that really loves Asus and really getting those products and stuff like that, then once you get all that fixed, then go ahead and be like, okay, here's a new one. Because now they feeling good. Now those people's coming back and say, you know what? They fixed my problem. And even those YouTubers, not the big ones, I mean the smaller ones, the people that sits up there and they're going to come back on there and say, hey, Asus did this. There's going to be people that's going to be sharing this stuff. They're going to be people that's going to be posting on Facebook, social media, everything. And when you mend that stuff with them, that will come out really good to where that you can actually be able to, you know, and just because you're helping them, you're making sure that they're taken care of, and you're making sure that, you know, because you guys are, this is the thing, they're a big company that makes lots of money. A lot of their parts are super expensive. It's super expensive. So that means a lot and lots of money comes up in here. And I'm seriously, state-of-the-art parts, state-of-the-art stuff that comes out with them. And when it comes down to things, even the stuff that I see, I was just like, okay, let's go with Asus. You're not going wrong. That's just how I look at it. You go with them, you're not going wrong. That's just what you can call it, Asus, whatever. But that's how we look at it. It's just like, you know, we go with them, we're not going wrong. This is going to be the most awesomest device that we're going to have, because this is for the gamers, this is for the people, and this is going to be awesome. But at the same time, we have to look at those things, and we're looking at this, and and I guess that my conversation is like, is this the best time for this to come out? Once again, I repeat this before, is this the best time for this to come out? That's all I'm saying. I don't know. And with these devices that's coming out, you know what a lot of these companies need to do, and it's kind of hard, they need to focus on more and more battery power. They need more battery power, because with these heavy devices that they're having out there, you want a long battery life. You don't want to play for 45 minutes on a heavy game. You want to at least be able to play for a few hours on a heavy game without have to, you know what I'm saying? And then they have to compromise with that weight. So because it's a heavier battery, the more power you're putting up in a handheld is more to where that you got to see. Let's put it like this. That's with the Legion Go, it has that weight, so you're carrying that battery and stuff like that. If they upgrade to where they have a battery or whatever, a heavier battery, tell you the truth, it's already heavy enough, and they might as well throw a heavier battery in there. But with these type of thinner, like Windows based handhelds, it's hard, dude. It's hard. The way I see it is, if you're gonna do some heavy gaming, it might be best to just do just like what everybody else is doing. Just do the streaming, because that way you don't have to worry about nothing. You take like the Logitech, you could play for hours streaming, give or take a few hiccups if you ain't having a good connection, but you can play for hours, dude. I mean, seriously, you could play a full-fledged game and just be like just chilling. And then that's not including your emulation and stuff. And we're looking at that device, and that device is only costing you like what, $300 for something that's just thin and don't really hardly have nothing in it. But you got this, and this got everything you need up in it. And these people are doing like all types of tasks and everything. I mean, for real, the same way it is with the Android based handhelds. But when you're throwing all this stuff up in there and everything, that I mean, you're gonna need some power. But people want to take those heavy games, so AAA games, and they want to take it on the go. And do they have a place to plug it up if the battery runs out? No, they don't. You're stuck. You're stuck. And it's just like, you know, we for these handhelds, they need heavier battery. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Steam Deck, they have a better battery, and they optimize it to where that you can play longer, and they have good customer service. They have some really decent customer service. I had problems before. They hit me back. They took care of things. They was on it. I have to say they was on it. I have and right now, I can say right now, I have not had a problem with Asus. I will give them that. And that's what I'm saying. I have not had it personally. I have not had too much of a problem with Asus, but I'm looking at the other people, and I said it before when on a lot of my videos. I'm like, you know what? Sometimes we got to help each other. Sometimes we have to be able to, you know, like, what's good for us? What's good for us? I'm buying just like you is. We're buying it right out from our pockets. And I feel that if a new product came in and I'm testing it out, you know, I want to just tell you, hey, what's good? And if we can find something on sale, or we find a deal, of course, that's what it's all about. Maybe that the fact is, maybe they could do it like what Ambernick did. When they first do the pre-orders, they give you a discount. So, and that's really cool, because they give you a discount. They give you a little bit of a slight slight of a discount so you can put your pre-order in. You save a little money. They give a little bit back to you. You know, how about doing something to where that, you know, that they get a little discount, give them a little program or something like that for people, you know, something, you know, that you go to stores and sometimes they do like the cash back thing or something. Sometimes these little ideas, these little incentives is really cool for the customer. So that way they'll keep buying. They'll keep becoming a fan. It's not just making a product and say, oh yeah, this is better. This is better. Let's get all the big wigs up in here and let's talk so we can just talk about so much performance and the feel and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just I think it was nothing wrong with the Asus. It was just cool for me. It's nothing wrong. It was nothing wrong with the Legion Go. You guys they did very good. There was nothing wrong with the first Steam Deck. Nothing wrong with it. And I'm serious. And then to me, it was awesome. But even some of the lesser handhelds, there's been times that the screen fell off. There's even like look at the Retro Pocket Flip. They don't even sell them because they had problems. Sometimes it's just like, man, there's gonna be problems with these units. And so at the same time, with the problems, gotta come up with a solution to help people. That's just where I'm looking at it. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I just really just took the time out and just had to just rant for a second. And I know that I just wasted like so much time, but I just had to get that out for a bit. So I hope you guys understand. All right, you guys, I'm out. Thank you guys. If you guys made it this far, I truly appreciate it. All right, and from Gamer to Gamer, peace out.